Hello, this is Ken, and today we're going to take a look at how to discover what your customers really want. So grab your popcorn, your coffee, and let's get to it.
How to discover what your customers really want. Okay, so let's assume you already have a business set up and running in your local area. It doesn't matter at this point whether your business is product-based, service-based, or both. You have tailored your offerings based on what you set out to accomplish, but have noticed that there are other things you could offer based on customer demand, competitor offerings, and social trends. Fact is, some things are more profitable than others. Some things you do because you feel your customer likes them, even though they are not profitable, and some things you wouldn't want to do for any amount of money. It's your business, you have to make that decision. To effectively build your online storefront, meaning your professional website, Google business profile, and social media page, you should settle on 3 main offerings that stand out, with other offerings as a second tier, and simply omit those things you really don't want to do. If you're going to have a local business, you might as well have a profitable one. That's what ensures you can keep going through thick and thin. So, participate in this training and keep in your mind the thoughts of, how can I apply this to my business?
Your most precious asset is your right thinking, Dr. Mary Ann Diorio. Clear thinking requires courage rather than intelligence, Thomas Schass.
As an example, when I was immersed in my first business as owner of a Mexican restaurant, I developed the habit of keeping accurate books so that I always knew what my current income and expenses were. With experience, I added to the list until it encompassed all the expenses and yearly trends I incurred. I made some changes in the business over time based on what I thought my customers would like and what I stubbornly wanted my business to be like. But I did not take into account how I could make changes that would clearly be more profitable and yet might change the nature of my restaurant. After 3 years, I simply could not afford the consequences of my decisions and had to shut down my business. There's no reason to let this happen. When you go out of business, your customers will simply go somewhere else. It's not their fault, it's your fault for not providing what they really want. Study this guide and consider the principles taught there, and then we'll learn how to apply that to your business by constructing your professional website, Google business profile, and social media pages to take advantage of what your customers are actually looking for. How to discover what your customers really want. It's a classic entrepreneur's dilemma. You've built a store based on what you think people want, but you're worried the real demand is happening in the shadows of their private search bars. People don't just search anymore, they consult. They treat their phones like a digital best friend, asking specific, high-intent questions. To get in line and sell to them, you need to move from guessing to listening. Here is how you can uncover those hidden desires and position your brand to be the answer they find. 1. Look for the why in the search bar. Standard keywords like blue shoes are competitive and shallow. To find what they really want, look for intent-based queries. People on mobile are usually looking for a specific solution to a momentary problem. Google Trends and Glimpse, use these to see rising searches in your niche. Pay attention to the breakout terms. These are trends growing by over 5,000% that haven't hit the mainstream yet. Answer the public. This tool visualizes the questions people ask. Who, what, why, how? If you sell skincare and you see a spike in how to fix skin barrier after a flight, you've just found a service or travel kit product they need. Search Console, queries. If you already have a website, look at the queries report in Google Search Console. You might find people are landing on your site searching for things you don't even sell yet. That is your next product. 2. Mine the unfiltered internet. People are often more honest on community platforms than they are anywhere else. This is where dream clients go to complain about what's missing in the market. Reddit and Quora, search for your industry plus, is it just me or why can't I find? These threads are gold mines for identifying gaps in the market. Social listening, TikTok/Instagram, don't just look at the videos, read the comments. If a competitor posts a product and the top comment is, I wish this came in a fragrance-free version, there is your other thing to offer. The TikTok search hack. Type your product category into TikTok search bar and see what the autocomplete suggestions are. Those suggestions are based on what real people are typing in right now. How to discover what your customers really want. 3. Leverage mobile-first direct feedback. Since they are already on their phones, meet them there with low-friction ways to tell you what they want. Instagram/TikTok polls. Use the this or that stickers. It feels like a game to them, but it's free R&D for you. Post-purchase one-question surveys. In your thank you email or page, ask, what is one thing you were looking for today that we didn't have? AI chatbot logs. If you have a chat bubble on your site, read the logs. What are people asking the bot? If 20 people asked for gift wrapping and you don't offer it, you're leaving money on the table. 4. Watch the micro-moments. Mobile behavior in 2026 is defined by micro-moments. I want to know, I want to go, I want to do, and I want to buy.
Table summary. The table illustrates different search queries and the underlying needs they represent, suggesting tailored offerings to meet those specific customer desires. It shows a direct relationship between what customers search for, what they are actually looking for, and what businesses should offer to satisfy those needs.
How to discover what your customers really want. The get-in-line strategy. Once you find that hidden item they want, don't just add it to your store. Create content that answers the search query first. If they are searching for non-toxic cleaners for puppy paws, write a blog post or film a 15-second reel titled, Why Your Current Cleaner Might Be Bothering Your Pup. At the end, link to the new product you just added. You aren't just selling, you are responding to a request they already made to their phone. Now, this is where the online storefront of your local business really shines. Let's say you have uncovered a product or service that might be a real winner for you by providing what your customer says they want as a great profit margin. Should you stock up and put it in your store? Well, maybe not so fast. Enjoy this story of a friend of mine selling jet skis. David was a young entrepreneur and wanted a new machine that had just come out on the market, a jet ski. He also dreamed of being a dealer for them in his area. So David ran a newspaper ad offering jet skis for sale. People began calling right away, so David would answer the phone and say, "Sorry, we're out of stock right now, but we'll have some soon." He kept track of all his callers' phone numbers and saved money to buy his first jet ski. As soon as he could get his first jet ski, he had a ready list of customers to call and sell to. This was how he started his lucrative jet ski sales business. So, without risking anything more than a classified ad spend, David was able to verify his market, develop a customer list, and get his first sales. We can do this so much more effectively now with the internet than David could back in his day. Here's our game plan. Now that you've decoded the hidden language of your dream clients, it's time to re-engineer your digital presence so it doesn't just look pretty. It looks like the only logical solution to their problem. The goal is zero-click conversion. This means providing so much value and clarity directly on Google or social media that they feel ready to buy before they even click visit website. How to discover what your customers really want. 1. Google Business Profile, your digital storefront. Think of this as your 24/7 salesperson. It is often the first thing people see on mobile. Audit your categories. Don't just settle for one. Use secondary categories to capture those niche searches you uncovered. If you found people are searching for eco-friendly pet grooming, make sure pet groomer is primary, but add organic shop or service establishment as secondary if relevant. Seed the Q&A section. Don't wait for customers to ask. Post the high-intent questions you found, e.g., do you offer same-day emergency repairs? And answer them yourself. Google's AI uses these answers to trigger your profile for specific voice and text searches. Hyperlocal posts. Use the updates feature to post weekly. Mention local landmarks or neighborhoods. Now serving the Highlands area with the specific product you've been asking for? This signals proximity plus relevance to Google's 2026 algorithm. Visual proof. Upload in-action videos, 15 seconds, showing the exact service or product people are searching for. Geotag your photos so Google knows exactly where that happy client was standing. 2. Your website, the conversion machine. A professional website that is just a brochure will fail. It must be an answer engine. Intent-based landing pages. If you discovered a specific pain point, e.g., how to fix a leaky faucet without a wrench, create a dedicated page for it. The 2-second rule. Ensure the above-the-fold area, what they see without scrolling, explicitly mentions the problem and your solution. Click to action, CTA alignment. Match the button to the intent. Research intent, download the free guide. Buying intent, check availability or get instant quote. FAQ schema, use structured data, schema markup for your FAQs. This allows your answers to appear directly in the Google search results, making you the featured snippets and pushing competitors down the page. Mobile speed. If your site takes more than 2 seconds to load on a 5G mobile connection, you'll lose 40% of those micro-moment shoppers. Compress your images and use a clean, thumb-friendly design. How to discover what your customers really want. 3 Facebook and social pages, the Trust Builder. On Facebook, people aren't searching, they are scrolling. You need to interrupt their pattern with the solutions they were thinking about earlier. The 80-20 content mix. 80% of your posts should answer the why and how questions you uncovered. Only 20% should be buy now pitches. Use Facebook Reels for micro-demos. If your research showed people are confused about how a service works, film a 30-second reel showing the process. Use on-screen text. Many people watch with sound off. Pinned post for instant credibility. Pin a post to the top of your page that features a customer testimonial specifically addressing a common objection you found during your research. Messenger automation. Set up automated instant replies in Meta Business Suite. When a dream client messages you at 11 p.m., the AI should immediately acknowledge the specific service they are asking about.
Table summary. The table contrasts an older, less effective marketing approach with a newer, intent-based strategy across various features. The older approach is more generic, while the newer one is more specific and targeted.
It is tempting to try to be everything to everyone once you see all those juicy search trends, but that is the fastest way to burn out your budget and your brain. To maximize profit, you need to stop thinking like a general store and start thinking like a specialist surgeon. Profitability isn't about high volume, it's about high margin and low friction. Here is how to filter your new ideas to find the Goldilocks zone for your business. 1. Use the ease versus impact matrix. Map out every new product or service idea you uncovered on a simple grid. You want to focus on the quick wins first, then the major projects. Quick wins, high impact, low effort. These are plug-and-play additions. Example: a high-impact, low-effort quick win to immediately boost roofing company profits is adding gutter guard installation or upgraded ventilation packages as standard line items on every quote. These products are easy to install during a roof replacement, require minimal extra labor, and offer high-margin upsell opportunities that homeowners readily accept for added protection. Major projects, high impact, high effort. These require investment but scale well. Example: a high-impact, high-effort service that an HVAC company can add to scale effectively is whole home performance auditing and energy upgrades, insulation, air sealing, and high-efficiency equipment installation. This service requires significant upfront investment in specialized equipment, e.g., blower doors, and intense technician training. But it positions the company as a premium, consultative partner rather than a commodity, allowing for high-margin, year-round revenue that is less dependent on seasonal weather. Fill-ins, low-impact, low-effort. Example: for a lawn service that wants to even out the revenue dips during off-seasons, they might consider sprinkler blowouts and winterization. A critical, high-demand service in late fall that requires only a portable air compressor. Thankless tasks, low-impact, high-effort. Delete these. Even if people are searching for them, if they are hard to provide and don't make money, let your competitors handle the headache. 2. The profitability filter, the 3-question test. Before adding anything to your website or Google profile, run it through these 3 filters. 1. Does it have a high perceived value? Can you charge a premium because it solves a specific, painful problem? Selling pain relief is always more profitable than selling vitamins. 2. Is it repeatable? Can you deliver this service or sell this product 100 times without reinventing the wheel each time? Custom work is the enemy of streamlining. 3. What is the customer acquisition cost? CAC? If you have to spend $50 in Facebook ads to sell a 40 item, it doesn't matter how many people are searching for it. You're losing money. 3. The rule of 3 for streamlining. To keep your operations lean, limit your focus to 3 core pillars at any given time.
Table summary. The table describes 3 pillars for streamlining business operations. Each pillar has a different focus and goal. The hero focuses on optimizing the checkout flow, the hook focuses on turning searchers into subscribers, and the upsell focuses on increasing the average order value.
4. Automate the boring stuff. A streamlined business is one where the owner isn't the bottleneck. As you pivot to these new dream products, automate the customer journey. Appointment sales funnels. Use AA scheduling tools like Calendly or integrated CRM bots so you aren't playing email tag to book a service. Self-service FAQs. Use the search data you found to build a robust help center. If the customer can find the answer themselves, they don't need to call you. Inventory triggers. If you're selling physical goods, use software that auto-reorders when stock is low so you never miss a micro-moment sale. Your focus checklist. Identify your top 3 high-margin items from your research. Kill off one low performer that takes up too much of your time. Update your website GBP to highlight only the top 3 for the next 30 days. Review your numbers. If a new service is popular but your bank account isn't growing, raise the price or cut the service. Wayne's story. Here's an example from one of my customers that can illustrate the power you have from developing a professional website that works for you. Wayne has been in business in a small Midwest town for 40 years. His business started out as a tire shop, but over time, he has added more services like auto repair, brake replacement, and air conditioning service. Wayne complained that the biggest problem he had was customers calling and making an appointment in the shop, but then they did not show up as scheduled. It cost him shop time and employee wages for business he never got. With an addition to his website, the persons scheduling repairs were required to make a deposit based on shop time, which culled out the tire kickers, and helped pay for expenses in the case that they did not show up for the appointment. This all happens automatically online before the shop ever gets the notification on their calendar. Less work, less headache, more profitability. If customers call the store to schedule, they are simply sent a text with a link to schedule online. A few added thoughts to help your profit line. To improve profit margins for a local business with underperforming products, you should analyze your cost structure, bundle low-margin items with high-margin ones, and shift focus toward premium, higher-margin offerings. Immediately review and adjust pricing to reflect current costs, reduce overhead expenses, and train staff to upsell. How to discover what your customers really want. Actionable strategies for better profit margins. Analyze and pivot product mix. Create a profit grid to identify low-margin items. Shift marketing, focus toward high-margin products, and consider phasing out or reducing the inventory of low-profit items. Implement strategic pricing. Review and potentially increase prices on low-margin products, especially for customized or urgent requests. A small 1% price increase can significantly boost operating profits. Bundle and upsell. Group low-margin items with high-margin, complementary products to increase the average order value. Train staff to suggest higher-margin alternatives to customers. Reduce costs and optimize operations. Negotiate better rates with suppliers. Look for alternative, lower-cost vendors and streamline operations to cut overhead. Leverage technology. Utilize software to enhance efficiency, reduce labor costs, and manage inventory more effectively. Focus on customer retention. Implement loyalty programs or personalized offers to increase the lifetime value of existing customers. To improve your profit margins when your current offerings are underperforming, you should systematically optimize your product mix and reduce operational costs. How to discover what your customers really want. Optimize your product mix. Analyze performance. Calculate the profit margin for each item by subtracting its direct costs from its sale price. Identify cash cows. Prioritize high-margin products that sell consistently and increase their visibility. Prune underperformers. Identify products in the bottom 10-20% of sales that also have low margins. Consider phasing them out to free up resources for more profitable items. Implement loss leaders. Keep select low-margin items only if they drive high-volume traffic to more profitable products. Introduce complementary items. Add higher-margin accessories, warranties, or services to existing core products. Strategic pricing adjustments. Raise prices strategically. Small price increases, e.g., 1-5%, often go unnoticed by customers but significantly boost operating profits. Bundle offerings combine low-margin items with high-margin ones into a single package to increase average transaction value. Tiered pricing offer good, better, best options or a premium, luxe category to capture customers willing to pay more for higher value. Standardize low-margin services. For service-based offerings, use cookie-cutter delivery processes to minimize labor costs. How to discover what your customers really want. Reduce direct and indirect costs. Negotiate with vendors. Shop around for better deals or ask current suppliers for volume discounts and better payment terms. Streamline operations. Automate repetitive tasks like data entry, invoicing, and inventory tracking to reduce labor expenses. Cut overhead. Review recurring monthly fees, such as underused software subscriptions, utilities, and insurance. Minimize waste. Improve inventory management to avoid overstocking, which ties up cash and leads to forced markdowns. Focus on customer value. Incentivize existing customers. It is more cost-effective to sell more to current customers via loyalty programs than to acquire new ones. Upsell and cross-sell. Train staff to suggest higher-end versions of products or related add-ons during the sale. Elevate perceived value. Improve your branding to reposition your business as a premium provider, justifying higher prices. The bottom line here is, I want you to stay in business a long time, and the best way to do that is maximize your profitability. After all, my motto is, I help local business owners make more money. It's that simple. How to discover what your customers really want. If you are unsure about adding a product or service to your existing business and whether it would be a profitable venture or not, just open up Gemini on your Google Chrome browser and paste in this query. I am considering adding product service to my existing business. Would you please help me by running my idea through the profitability filter to see if it's actually worth my time? Examples. 1. Am considering adding dinner hours in the evening to my restaurant, where I now serve only breakfast and lunch. Would you please help me by running my idea through the profitability filter to see if it's actually worth my time? I am considering adding line of perfumes to my candle store because I have seen people on TikTok talking about how they love the brand name line of perfumes. Would you please help me by running my idea through the profitability filter to see if it's actually worth my time?
Okay, I hope you found this helpful. There's a lot of material in here. So it's available here on the Masterclass website. It's also available on the YouTube channel, and there's a link there for that so that you can play it as a podcast in your car if you want to, or listen to it when you have time to just study while you travel. And also there's a PDF download that you can get and print out if you want to really dig in and research some of the topics that are in here. So what we've learned in this masterclass is how to master the power of the internet, how to put the perfect product in front of an ideal customer, and sell. Worry less. So have a great day.